I'm a big fan of Joshua Barnwell, but when I heard him surprised that SpeedyBee F405 is Ardupilot compatible, I had to tell him that there are several flight controllers that are Ardupilot compatible, not just Pixar. As I was sending the link to Mr. Know-It-All, MicoAir flight controller crossed my eyes. Upon further examination, I was shocked to learn that this particular 20 by 20 flight stack ships with Ardupilot install, requires no soldering, and best of all, only 26 bucks. Hallelujah. I did a search on YouTube and other forums, and to my surprise, I did not find any reviews. So I decided to purchase one and convert my baby ape into Ardupilot Droid. Best way to search for Ardupilot hardware or firmware is through Google. In this case, I'm showing you where to find the firmware. Click on the copter or plane or rover, find a stable firmware, and scroll down to the bottom. Look for your flight controller that you want to flash and download the firmware. If you are flashing flight controller that already have Ardupilot installed, use the APG file. You don't need the bootloader. Here's the unboxing of the flight controller that after a couple of weeks it showed up from China. And here's the flight controller. It comes with the ESC stack. So let me open it up and there you have it. Now this flight controller actually comes with all the connectors. You don't have to solder anything. Plus it comes with Ardupilot pre-installed. So you don't have to do any flashing in the bootloading, the DFU modes and so forth. And it's only 26 bucks. The 4-in-1 ESC is actually Blue Jay D-Shot 600. So it's pretty robust design. The reason I bought this MicoAir flight controller is because I want to convert my baby Ape 2 into Ardocopter. So I can do autonomous mission and try out Acro mode in Ardupilot and see what's the fuss about. All right, moment of truth. So here's the board. I'm going to hook it up. And the mission planner is open. Where's my USB? Let's see. All right. Let's see if... all right, there's a USB serial device 5 on my system. And connect. All right, it is connected, but why it's not? That's interesting. The hood should move, but it's not moving. And oh, there you go. It's moving now. Okay, there was some latency, I guess. So the firmware it's on it is 4.5.4, and I believe Ardocopter is at 4.5.7 at the moment of this video. So don't hold me to that, but yeah, it came pre-flashed and you can see the hood is moving. And actually what I'm going to do is disconnect this, hook up the GPS, and see if the GPS is working as well. All right, so it took about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes maybe, to acquire my location from this GPS here. And so what I'm about to do is actually take this Darwin FPV Ape, I think it's called, has a 03 unit that I had installed in it. And this is a stock model. And I'm going to basically take out the flight controller, the ESC, and replace it with this MicoAir um, flight stack 20 by 20, because this one is also 20 by 20, and see how it performs. I mean, I already know that how good this quad flies. So once I install this one with Ardupilot plus the GPS, we'll see how it performs. All right, I got the new flight controller, MicoAir, installed. Um, didn't have much issues, except if you're going to do this, I would recommend changing the screws uh, to about, a little bit longer than what these screws are. I had to use a different hardware. Um, so that was one thing. The other thing is the two motors were reversed. So I had to desolder again and switch the wires on the front motors. On the back motor, I had to assign four and I believe two, um, and switch those two sides. Other than that, piece of cake. I 3D printed this little holder for the GPS and compass, and the antenna wire is coming out from the back right here for the 5.8 gigahertz VTX. The very first flight was horrible, and I'll show you the graph. The PIDs were just out of this world. So I had to do some auto tuning and some cheating, looking at some of the previous flight logs. And that overall, it's came out good. So just to show you that the stock default configuration for the four motors were 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I had to do is switch uh, 2 with 4, these two, which are, I believe, they're in the back. And yeah, that was the only thing that I had to make changes. On that motor direction, you're going to have to test regardless how you build your quad. So just keep keep that in mind, that you can reorganize these motors as you as described in the frame type setup. So there's a lot of YouTube, or actually on Google, pictures you can find that what a X frame looks like. Stock tune, terrible. All right, I'm gonna do auto tuning of this Ardupilot micro air flight controller and Blue Jay 4-in-1 ESC. So let's arm it in a stabilized mode. Then I'm going to go into altitude hold mode and then switch to auto tune mode. All right, it's armed. All right, altitude hold mode. Bring it a little bit forward. And I'm going to do auto tune. All right, it's twitching. All right, I'm going to take over, go a little bit further out, and let it do its twitching. And on Yapu screen, I can see it's trying to do roll rate control. 25% complete, 50%. All right, I'm gonna bring it back. I think that's plenty. It says roll angle auto tune complete. I got on Ardupilot, Yapu screen saying it's all done. So I'm gonna land in auto tune mode and disarm it. So it should save all the values. Okay, saved gains for roll. Just roll. After auto tuning, the graph looks much smoother and better. Here's the first flight in the stabilize mode. And then I'm going to switch into acro mode. Whoa, out of control. So I'm running this at 2 times the speed just to show you guys that, yeah, the acro mode works pretty good. I can do flips and rolls and whatnot. I also tested the RTL and loiter mode. That's going to come next. And there's the RTL. And because of the wind, I guess it was flying kind of a sideways to come back and land. It landed on a dime. I mean, as usual, Ardupilot is pretty robust when it comes to RTL. And here's the loiter mode. So as soon as you let go the sticks, it just hovers, it holds position. It doesn't move despite how much wind is blowing, whatever, it's just gonna stay there. And then if you want to fly, you push the stick forward and off you go. And there's the bird. I could have chased that bird, but that's okay. And here's the loiter mode. Loiter mode is almost like flying a DJI Mavic. It just, you let go the sticks and you stay there. Doesn't happen anything. It just floats in the air. So that's the loiter mode. That worked out good. So RTL, acro mode, stabilize obviously. And that's pretty much the end. And happy flying. So MicoAir flight controller is Ardupilot compatible, dirt cheap. MicoAir flight controllers and GPS are also available at Pyro Drones in Southern California. Right now they have all-in-one also available for $56. That's a pretty good deal.